Hey there, come with me as I make garlic and herb white pasta and cheese. It's white pasta because we're using cassavecce, Monterey Jack with jalapenos, Havarti cheese, cream, a little cream cheese, and Kinder's garlic and herb seasoning. We're also going to use a little of this Better Than Bouillon and also a little margarine at the end. So I'm seasoning the water with Better Than Bouillon and a little salt. And the reason I do this is because I like my noodles to taste like something other than paper. So this and the additional add-in of salt gives the water a great flavor and gives your noodles a great flavor. So what I'm about to do after I add that little pinch of salt you see there, I'm just going to stir it in and then let it boil. And you should always make sure, you know, your noodles are entering a very hot space. So here I'm just, you know, trying to press down the Better Than Bouillon. It's a great chicken broth seasoning for those of you. So you can use any chicken broth seasoning here, whether that is a liquid broth, whether that is a powdered broth. Okay, so while that heats up, I'm going to come over here to my blender, and I do not want y'all laughing at me because it's taking everything in me to blend the cheese and keep the lid on. I have to get a new top, because the top, if you don't put that pressure that I'm putting with my hand, comes straight off, and that's not what we need. We don't need cheese all over the kitchen. However, that's what we're getting, but I am going to get a new one pretty soon. I'm like, we tried to fix the lid, the top. The top has a catchment on the bottom that makes it secure onto the blender, and mine is not secure. So my hand is keeping the blender blending without the whole bowl of cheese falling off. So here again, like I said, I have Monterey Jack cheese with jalapeno because we like a little flavor over here. We like a little spice, and then a Havarti cheese. I like Havarti because it has a nice taste and it gives you the creaminess that you want. But remember, we'll also be using some other cream in the cream cheese in the future. Here we're just adding the pasta to the noodles and letting those boil really good. And once they're boiled, we have this strainer that I put in the bottom of the sink to pour the noodles in. So they cook I'll cook them for the al dente time on the package, whatever it is. I think for these cassavecce noodles, it was 10 minutes, which I thought was super long, but it needed all 10 of those minutes. So there we have our pasta. We're gonna go back over to the stove and get our cheese ready in the same pot because we don't want to be using a whole bunch of stuff. So here I've used the margarine and I'll put that in the bottom right before adding some good old cream. You can use heavy cream, whatever, if you're vegan or vegetarian, whatever cream you wish to use. I'm all over the place here because I have a vegan margarine and heavy cream, so it's not making a lot of sense, but it'll be delicious. That's what we're trying to get to now. So I'm also going to add the cream cheese now because this is going to be the base for our macaroni and cheese, and we want this to be super creamy. So I'm going to add the cream cheese here and give that time to stir and cook up. And I'm also going to then add afterwards a little bit of the seasoning. So give me a second and we'll get that done. I hope everyone is having a really happy Friday today, preparing for someone else to cook, hopefully. So I'm going to set the oven at 350. At this point, there's the cheese. We're going to use about 80% of the cheese. We only need a little bit to top it because it's going to be super cheesy. Here I'm adding the Kinder's garlic and herb. You can use whatever seasoning you want. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, whatever you want to put in it. But I really like the flavor of the buttery garlic and herb, so I'm adding that to the cheese because I think it just makes the jalapenos and the cheese pop a bit. And then I'm tasting it there. If you wonder what that is, I'm tasting to make sure it's edible. This is something I noticed. Women do a lot of the cooking, but men are always like top tier chefs. So I've been paying attention to what men do differently. I notice women, when we cook, we don't always taste our way through. Guys eat the entire time. So I think that's a big difference. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm tasting it as I go, because there was a time where I didn't taste as much going through, and you have to taste the food to know if it's what you want or whether you need to back up, stop, start over, whatever. So anyway, I have put in the cheese that we are going to use, and I'm just stirring it around so that it melts in the pot, and soon it will be all melty, melty, melty. This is probably my favorite part of making macaroni, casarecce, pasta and cheese is making the cheese sauce. And I'm just making sure that it's the right consistency because I want it, I want it delicious. Now here, it's not going to be, when you see people string the cheese up and it's all stringy and things coming up. This is not that cheese. This is cheese and cream, but it's going to be more creamy than pulley. It's not going to be the pulley cheese that you get if you put a mozzarella or a puller, whatever that might be, cheese into the macaroni. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time to heat, and then you'll see me pull it up and down just for a little while to see what the texture of the macaroni and cheese is like. So you see me there, I'm like, yep, this is about it. A little pulley, but not like super. So that's great, and that's the texture I like. So I'm gonna go and get my noodles, my casarecce noodles, and pour those in. I was making a little bit of a mess here, but it's okay. So stirring the noodles into the cheese. I'm starting off kind of slowly here. I'm not really sure why. And I just want to make sure that each noodle is coated back, front, center, all around. And these are really great because these noodles kind of have a center just like the macaroni and cheese, but they're larger. So you get all of the flavoring of having a nice size, larger noodle. So you just want to make sure that you're stirring it up good, making sure that all of the cheese is incorporated into all of the noodles. You may want to give it a taste, and then we're going to put it in the oven to bake. So here you see me, I have my glass dish. You use whatever dish you want. And I'm going to put the pasta noodles and cheese into the dish. And that's what I am doing here. Yum, I'm getting hungry again. It's almost lunchtime and I am ready to eat again. Hopefully the girls left me some, who knows? I just had a little spoonful last night, but maybe they left me a bit to eat. Who knows? I might just starve. Who knows? I'm not gonna starve by any means. But sometimes they really get into it and the dish will be gone a lot quicker than I thought it would. All right. Everywhere. All right. Alrighty. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go over and get our cheese, and we're going to cheese this bad boy up. So we had about 4 cups of cheese, and we used all but 20%. So we are going to now spread the noodles out flat onto this because I just like them to be in formation. And then we're going to add the cheese. Beautiful. I'm happy with that. So here we are putting the macaroni into the oven. I cook it at 350 for 30 to 40 minutes until the cheese is melted to your liking. And sometimes people like it to be crunchier or browner on the top. This is as crunchy and brown as it got for us because it is, again, white cheese, but you can see it did brown toward the top there. Super creamy. And I'm going to make a couple of plates. And somehow, my apologies, but I gave the phone to my daughter and she used it upside down. I guess she didn't use it the way. And I have no idea how to turn it around. So if anybody used Premiere Pro and knows how to turn it around, go on and shoot me an email and let me know how you do that. So this can be a good vegetarian meal too, because instead of using the chicken broth, which I don't think has any chicken in it, but she enjoyed it. She liked it. You can use a vegetarian broth. Have a great day.